Alright, what's going on? It is me back again with another video. And today we are going to be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. Yesterday, I don't remember the date, September 6th, that was yesterday, they released about 23 screenshots of the cast. I believe all of them are part of the gang, although I am not completely sure about that. They did release today a little bit of a description of each and every character, so go check that out. But that is not what we are going to be talking today, because I am almost certain that everybody is going to be talking about those images, and I just don't want to be, part of all that. My channel is small, so it really would make no sense. If you want to see the screenshots, head over to Twitter or head over to any other channel, because like I said, I'm pretty sure most channels are going to be talking about that. But I want to talk about this article that was released, and I read it, and I believe like an hour or so later, Rockstar actually tweeted out this article, and it is an article from the Hollywood Reporter, and I guess that is a something. How would you describe it? Like I'm not sure if it's a website or magazine, but they interviewed Josh Bass, art director of Rockstar San Diego, and Aaron Garbett, director of art at Rockstar North. So I'm just going to call them Josh and Aaron because I don't know how to pronounce their last names and I don't want to be rude. So let's talk about it. Dutch's presence loomed over the original Red Dead Redemption, and his influence on events was a big deal, big inspiration for the setting and direction of Red Dead Redemption 2. Josh tells the Hollywood Reporter. We all wanted to know more about him and the gang. What was it like writing with the gang? What led them to the events of the original game? What happened to them along the way? Fans of the original will remember Dutch Vanderleen from the leader of his eponymous gang as the primary antagonist in a story that centered on the last days of the dying Wild West frontier. Other familiar faces crop up in the sequel as well, including former playable protagonist John Marston. Seen in Red Dead Redemption 2 as a much younger member of the gang, he will one day hunt down. In Red Dead Redemption 2, you get to see that gang, including Marston, at the peak of their notoriety. I'm sorry about that. And the very moment things begin to fall apart, says Josh. This story focuses on Arthur Morgan, Dutch's most trusted enforcer, adopted into the gang by Dutch when he was a young boy. Arthur considers the gang to be his family. Dutch has given his life some much needed purpose, and the gang has served as the one positive and constant in Arthur's life. I believe all of that was said by Josh, but let's continue. We've aimed to capture a wide slice of American life in 1899, a rapidly industrializing nation that would soon have its sights on the world's stage, and would do whatever possible to modernize, Aaron says. It's a brutal landscape with sordid history, but also one that is full of opportunity. One of the most satisfying aspects of creating a world of such scope and scale is the ability to experience a whole range of stories and characters in your journey across the world. The gang's journey and the game's epic scope makes room to touch on all aspects of turn of the century America in a meaningful and substantial way. Rockstar, which is known for creating enormous immersive worlds, was focused on making Red Dead Redemption 2's open world a reflection of the time period, as well as a deeper, thriving environment for players to interact with. We are trying to make a world that is both expansive and deep at the same time, Aaron says. We've always tried to create worlds that feel like places as much as games, and we've been able to use the latest technology to push that idea forward in ways we have never before. That includes not just the physical surroundings, but also the people that inhabit it. The contrast between rich and poor, between weak and strong, and between civilizations and wilderness really spoke to us, says Aaron. We are trying to create a world where everything is more cohesive so that both the player's actions and the way the world reacts to your actions feel consistent no matter what you do or where you do it, he continues. It's persistent and alive, but also more deliberate and intimate in ways which make sense for a world where you are still mostly getting around by horse or on foot. You can exchange stories with barmen in a saloon, talk yourself out of trouble with local lawmen, hijack a train, or simply rummage through the drawers of an old homestead hoping to find cash or just some food to help the gang survive, and seamlessly transition between these things in ways that are both fun and in keeping with Arthur as a character. It has already been revealed that Arthur Morgan will be the playable protagonist of the new game, but given the success of previous Rockstar's title, Grand Theft Auto 5, three playable protagonists, someone had wondered if a similar approach would be taken in Red Dead Redemption 2. Switching characters made sense and was a lot of fun in Grand Theft Auto 5, Josh says. Sticking with a single character felt more appropriate for the structure and narrative of a Western. Arthur lives with and fights alongside the other members of the Vanderlyn gang, and they are a group of fully realized characters with relationships to each other and to Arthur. But this is Arthur's story, and we are placing players in firmly Arthur's boots as he and the gang deal with a rapidly changing world. We think people will really love the feeling of being in the gang. It isn't like anything we've ever done before. It is the sense of life the game has that most sets it apart, Aaron adds. When you first enter a town, you see the townspeople going about their business, building houses, selling papers, hanging out. You can instantly tell that we've never experienced this in detail in an open world game before, where you see a shack on a hill and you know there is something interesting for you there. Maybe you will break in and stumble onto a mystery or meet the owner and end up getting tangled in something. I think that's when you can tell that it is new territory, when you are not even sure if what you're doing is a mission or not. When all the systemic parts of the world come together with our scripted content in the right ways, it's kind of incredible. The level of immersion, Aaron says, is the biggest goal, making the player forget that they are playing a game and instead leaving them with a memory of a place, he says. That's how I leave this project personally. Now we are finishing up. I've spent years living in this world every day and I'm going to miss it. But I leave it with memories of a place I've lived in. That is pretty amazing. So, pretty much what they're saying is they have created this world in hopes that you have fun yet feel immersed. They have created things that defy anything that you have ever played before in any other open world game, even their own open world games, I guess. So it's interesting. If you weren't interested for this game, I think you should be, and you should give it a chance. It is really trying to do things that, by the way they talk about it, have never been done before in any open world games. And they said they kind of want to blur the lines about, um, doing things and leaving you thinking if, you know, that was scripted or if you just did something that you didn't even knew you didn't have to do, or you felt like doing but you didn't necessarily had to do. So it's interesting. I want to hear more about this. This is the first time they talk about this. They have talked about, all the stuff that they are trying to add, giving you more freedom to play the way you want to play. But this is the first time they ever talk about it in such enthusiastic tone. So I'm glad to hear that they feel the way they feel, and I wish we can see this sooner than later. Obviously, no trailer has been released yet, or no new trailer. The last trailer we got was the gameplay reveal, and they haven't announced any other trailers. So I'm hoping we get one soon, but it's Rockstar, so I wouldn't really count on anything. But that's been it for me. See you guys later if you stick around.